Lately, everyone is talking about the term brain rot. If you look up online, like every other person is talking about it, and they are telling that don't consume and don't create and stop scrolling and be productive. And obviously, they are right, right? But me personally, I don't think that it's that simple. Because consumption isn't the problem. We have to consume. If we don't consume food, if we don't consume books, ideas, I would say even conversations, then I don't think we can create. Because without consumption, there is no creation. So the problem is not about consumption. It's not about consuming. It's the problem is unconscious consumption. You not choosing what you consume is the problem. For me, brain rot doesn't feel like stupidity. It feels like autopilot. Like you are just living on autopilot. You don't know what's happening. You don't know what's gonna come, and you don't know why you are doing this, whatever you are doing. So it's just like you're not choosing your life. So it's that moment when you are tired, and instead of resting, you open an app to relax. How ironical is that? Like we humans, when we want to rest, we open an app to chill. Isn't that very controversial if you think about it? How is that relaxing? If you need to relax in literal terms. Like go for a walk or read something or just sleep or eat good, like good food, or like talk to someone, like talk to the loved ones, or have a conversation with a good friend, you know. But consuming something new and something unknown when you want to relax, oh my god, how ironical that is to your brain. Just think about it. And somehow, when you open that app, you end up like forgetting about the time, and you look at the time, almost 1 hour to 2 hours are gone, like they disappear. Imagine how much life we are losing on daily basis without even knowing that we are losing it. Like we are not choosing it, because it chooses us. Because you don't go looking for depth, you went looking for stimulation. And stimulation is very easy. Your brain loves it. Your brain loves novelty. The brain loves unpredictability. It loves the tiny dopamine hit of not knowing what's next, and especially when it's safe. If you think about it, evolutionary perspective, our brain doesn't love unpredictability as it is, because our brain fears unknown, right? But the funny thing is, the internet makes us love the unknown, because we know that we are in safe environment, nothing bad is gonna happen. It's just that I'll get a stimulation, I'll get a dopamine hit. Isn't that interesting? And that's the scariest part, because you feel safe in that, so you just scroll. But biologically, our brains were not built for that infinite stimulation. Obviously, we all know that. They were built for something opposite of stimulation, which is friction. Because our brain, our body needs to have effort. Like we need to do walking, we need to have our hands in dirt, like we need to start making things. Like making is a necessary part of us. Most important part is building with hands. Okay, let me take you back to one of the great philosophers again. I bring him again and again. His name is Heidegger. He was from Germany. He also talks about the importance of hands as something deeply connected to the idea of being. We didn't start thinking first. We started doing first. Like we created tools with our hands that shaped the way we think, or that shaped the way we thought. Creation is not just an output, it's participation. It's about you participating in something. So it's an engagement with the world, if you think about it. And here's what I have noticed about myself personally, that brain rot doesn't happen when I consume, it happens when I consume without intention. When I open something just to fill the void, which I don't even know from where it's coming from. Obviously, it's coming from me not living up to fully evolutionary perspective, or I would say biological perspective, that going outside in nature, watching birds or whatever. And we try to fill that space with numerous scrolls. And when I don't choose, I just drift into it. But the opposite is, it feels completely different. When I intentionally choose a book, when I intentionally go for a walk, or when I intentionally sit and watch the sunset, it feels alive. Like that is something which we all are craving all the time. Not because that's productive, but because that's the way we choose. That's the way our body and our brains are designed. We need time in nature, we need our time outside. We cannot all the time live in the boxes we have created for ourselves, which are the beautiful houses, obviously, the cement boxes, or I would say anything you want to say it. We need time outside, we need something to connect with, even people, even ideas. We need depth. So maybe the real issue isn't that we consume too much. Maybe it's that we are really deciding what we are consuming. And when you don't decide what you're consuming, something else decides for you. Obviously, an algorithm, a system, and that's also designed by someone else. And slowly, your attention stops being yours. And I don't think the answer is never consume, obviously. I think the answer is be conscious about your consumption, choose. If you're going to scroll intentionally. If you are going to watch something, watch intentionally. If you're going to rest, actually rest. Like, be conscious, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of yourself, the way you choose things. Because when you stop choosing, you stop participating. And that's when it feels like your brain is rotting. It's not because you are lazy, obviously, it's because you are absent. And that's the brain rot. So the problem isn't consumption, it's the unconscious living.